County Sheriff's Office is now alerting people of an increase in car break-ins, particularly at parks. 3 people at dog parks in Verona recently reported their vehicles were broken into. A woman in Token Creek had also reportedly claimed someone smashed her car window to grab her purse. The advice is to always take your valuables with you while you're at the park. The Dane County Sheriff says there's typically an uptick in break-ins during the summer.
Those who are committing these crimes are looking for easy crimes to commit. Vehicles that are unlocked, windows that are down, or even valuables in plain sight that can easily be accessed through breaking a window or making entry into the vehicle.
And the sheriff says if you see someone committing a break-in, do not confront that person. Instead, immediately call 911.